And that's ball 3 to Laviolette. Would not be surprised if he draws a leadoff walk. He's got 51 walks on the season, which is number 2 in the conference. Very high in the MLB draft.
5-tool guys, both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Hensler. Wyatt Hensler, their third baseman. And that's ball 5, as the crowd at Bluebell Park would sound.
Yeah. Yeah, not the start. We'll see Henry Hunter go out there. I don't know if it's maybe to give some time to somebody in the bullpen to start getting loose. Just kind of check Goldstein's temperature as well if he's frustrated or.
You see Goldstein's longest start this season, 3 1/3 innings, and that was that aforementioned series against Texas, which was the last time he was in the starting rotation. In fact, 5 of his first 10 starts this season were on pitch counts because of the internal brace procedure that he underwent after last season. And his last 2 starts were staff outings against Clemson and Kennesaw State in a midweek game. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is ball number 6 from Charlie Goldstein.
It's so tough to start out this way. As a starter, you're trying to figure out what that umpire strike zone is. First of all, the umpire's trying to figure out what you're coming with. Missing with 6 straight, that plate's going to get a little bit smaller. That zone's going to get a little bit smaller from the umpire's perspective.
2 balls, no strikes. Hensler leads the Aggies with that .308 batting average and fouls that one out of play, and the count's 2-1.
Yeah, first breaking ball there, and it was for a strike, probably a called strike. Not sure why Hensler was swinging at that right there. 6 straight balls. I'm going to go ahead and take a look, especially on spin.
Hensler also leads the Aggies in hits with 57 and doubles with 14. And hit by pitch with 20. He's number 1. He's tied with Robbie Burnett for number 1 in the conference. And that's ball 3.
And that's the illustration right there. Not a bad miss, but not getting the benefit of the doubt from Eric Gaucher behind the plate because he's been so erratic with that fastball. Just 1 strike.
Gaucher is the home plate umpire today. Scott Latendre is at first base, and that's ball 4. Consecutive walks by Goldstein to start the game. So Hensler at first, and Laviolette's now at second, and Caden Sorrell steps up to the plate. Sorrell, you mentioned the injuries. He started the season basically on the DL if they had a DL. He missed the first half of the season with a hamstring injury. Goldstein in hot water already, and that ball is hit to deep right field. Burnett watches it sail out of here. And the Aggies have a 3-0 lead. Caden Sorrell just popped one out of here to right field to give Texas A&M the early lead. Home run number 12, RBI 30, 31, and 32.
And great approach there by Sorrell. Left-handed batter, gets in there, knows he doesn't have, Goldstein that is, doesn't have any command of that fastball. He was just sitting right on that first pitch breaking ball. Goldstein tried to flip it in there, hung it up high, and he was all over it. Knew it was coming.
Home run number 85 for the Aggies. They've got an early lead here. Still nobody out, and here's Bear Harrison, their catcher. And another ball from Goldstein.
He has not been able to throw that fastball for a strike. 4 batters in.
One-0 pitch from Goldstein. Missed high, 2-0. This has been a season-long issue for Charlie Goldstein. This is one of the big reasons why he's not been in the starting rotation. Ball 3. I think, Goldstein's thrown 2 strikes. One of them was hit into the right field bleachers.
Yeah, and a couple of these pitches in this at-bat have been close, but again, starting out so erratic, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
There's a strike.
On a fastball.
Count is 3-1 to Bear Harrison. Hit foul hard. Count now full 3-2 to Harrison. Harrison making his 37th start at catcher tonight. Three-two pitch from Goldstein. Breaking ball called, strike three. So Goldstein bounces back and strikes out. Harrison looking.
Let's see if he can build off of that. Found some command there with the fastball, 2 of them for strikes. Finishes them up with the changeup there.
And here's Caden Kent. Kent, the junior out of Austin, Texas, the shortstop, and hits this one into right field. Going to get down to the corner. Burnett going to try to cut it off before it gets to the wall. He doesn't. And Caden Kent has a double. Kent with his 11th double of the season. And here comes Wes Johnson. He's already signaled to the bullpen. Charlie Goldstein's first start since the Texas series, first SEC start since the Texas series. Last 5 batters.
Yeah.
And pitching change for the Bulldogs. JT Quinn making his way in from the bullpen. Kind of settled into the DH spot here. Was playing first base earlier in the season. There's a strike to Benderup.
It's a good start for Quinn there. Benderup has a close stance and adjustment he's made as this season has gone on. He's a big kid with long arms, so Quinn right there establishing the inside part of the plate with the first pitch.
There's a strike to Benderup, and it's 0-2. They kind of compared the adjustment they made in his stance to Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, very similar. Collar might be a little bit not quite as wide. Benderup's taking up the whole batter's box.
And he's stretched all across that thing, isn't he? 0-2 pitch to Benderup is a ball 1. Now, if he could only put up Giancarlo Stanton numbers, he'd get a $400 million contract.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
It's that simple. Change your stance and get paid. One-two pitch, fastball by him.
Great pitch sequence there from Quinn. Starts him off with the fastball in, establishes it, throws that slider for a strike. Now he knows he has to defend against 2. Tries to expand. Great take by Benderup. Then goes upstairs with 97. Just a good sequence right there from Quinn. Great execution.
2 down in the inning. Brings up the first baseman, Gavin Cash. Quinn looks back at Kent. Strike 1.
You see Gaucher getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Quite the opposite of Goldstein. Quinn pounding the zone. The one ball he threw was a good miss. An expanded slider.
One and one. Cash playing in his 36th game tonight. 8 doubles to go along with his couple of homers and 18 RBI. And Quinn ahead in the count 1-2. Now Quinn has made 5 starts this season, so this is kind of like a start.
Oh yeah, I mean, think it would have been easier just to start. You have nobody on. Instead, he inherits a runner at second and the one out.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Oh, that slower curveball is left at arm side both times. The harder slider comes in at about 85. Mentioned he got that fastball up to 97 there to Binder up.
Pitch fouled off, 1-1 to Alford. .336 batting average, 16 homers, 57 RBI. He's number 7 in the conference in homers, number 8 in RBI. Number 2 with 65 runs scored. Prager, 1-1 pitch. Missed high. 2-1. Prager 13-8 in his career. The 3.80 ERA. This is start number 49 for him. .243 strikeouts and 232 career innings and a whip of 1.21 for his career. Very good, and Alford rips that one foul. Alford is number 4 in the conference, 72 total hits. Three times this season he's led off a game offensively for the Bulldogs with a home run. Count 3-2. Prager looks in, full count. Ball is hit to right field, going to be caught by Sorrell for out number 1. Aggies fielding 971 as a team. Harrison behind the plate, Cash at first, Royo at second, Ken at short, Hensler at third, Keel in left, Laviolette in center, and Sorrell in right. It's Trey Phelps. Good to see him starting to come around and swing the bat like he did last year as a freshman All-American.
Yeah, again, I think early on in the season just got off to a slower start than he'd hoped for, and I think he started pressing a little bit, trying to do more to make up for that. Not an uncommon thing to see after a very successful freshman year going into your sophomore year.
And then he had the hamstring injury.
That's right.
He actually started the season by reaching base in his first 27 games, and then he missed 8 games with that hamstring injury, and so coming back from that 8-game layoff really slowed things down, but starting to swing the bat, come around again in that Alabama series. You saw the numbers he had in Tuscaloosa, where the Bulldogs won 1 game out of the 3. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Phelps. Breaking ball from Prager just missed the outside corner. Harrison thought he had the 3rd strike. It's 2-2.
I think even Steven there, I think Gaucher maybe expanded the zone there on strike 2 and then maybe shrank it up there for ball 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Phelps. Ball 3. Phelps on the Golden Spikes Award preseason watch list, as is Prager. Three-two pitch. Popped him up over on the right side. Down the line, in fair territory. It's caught by the second baseman Royo for out number 2. Phelps was slow out of the box. I don't think he knew where the ball was.
Yeah, it looked like it had a chance to get fouled, but as it came in, it was hit so high it started coming back towards the field of play, as you mentioned. Ended up being a fair ball. You know, a couple of fly ball outs here, but you got to give a lot of credit to Alford and Phelps for getting to that 3-2 and making Prager have to work for it a little bit here early on.
Here's Robbie Burnett. Ball 1 to Burnett. Burnett on pace to become the first Georgia player since Gordon Beckham to lead the team with double-digit homers and double-digit stolen bases. 1-0 pitch to Burnett outside, 2-0. Burnett's 19 home runs, number 2 in the SEC. And his 63 RBI are number 3. 2-0 pitch from Prager. That's in there for a strike to make it 2-1. Burnett also 16 for 20 in stolen bases. He's number 4 in the SEC in stolen bases. 2-1 pitch. High in the air and down the right field line, and it is gone. Robbie Burnett gets the Bulldogs on the board with home run number 20. It's 3-1.
Again, I think a lot of credit goes to Alford and Phelps working the count, keeping Prager out there, getting him a little fatigued. Burnett gets ahead in the count, 2-0. Looked like a hanging breaking ball or changeup on a 2-1 pitch. Just kind of hung out there. I think he might have cut a changeup a little bit. Belt high. Burnett makes it hurt. Gets one back for the Dogs.
Team leading 15th home run that Prager has surrendered this season. Bulldogs cut the Aggies lead to 2. Here's Colby Branch batting in the 4 spot tonight. We've slowly watched as Branch has moved up the batting order. Not too long ago, he was batting 9th.
Yeah, and he was the best 9-hole hitter really in the nation. I know we had joked about it a few times, rolled over the lineup. Always has come through in the clutch. I would say that him and Alford throughout the season have been the most steady offensively.
Here's the 0-1 to Branch. There's a strike 0-2. And probably not coincidental. They're the only Bulldogs to start every game this season.
That's true.
Branch and Alford have started every game.
Just kind of know what you're going to get each time. Put together some good solid ABs, never too high, never too low.
309, 13 homers, 37 RBI. 0-2 pitch. Popped him up. It's going to be out of play. Last time the Bulldogs were here at Foldy Field, that Oklahoma series, he batted .417 for the. That ball is hit to left, but he got up underneath it. Going to be caught by Keel for out number 3. And it's 3-1 Dogs trailing the Aggies as we head to the second. He writes on his brother, which is really significant. That ball is hit to left, but he got up underneath it. Going to be caught by Keel for out. Following in his dad's footsteps, Terrence Keel Sr. was a star football player for Texas A&M and played 3 years in the National Football League. Terrence, the second, was not a bad football player either. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. JT Quinn looks like he was ready to pitch tonight.
Yeah, he looks sharp.
Even though he was not the starter, came in after the first 5 batters.
You know, that breaking ball is starting to look more and more like Colton Smith's.
1-2 to Keel, missed high, 2-2. Keel's second on the team with that .302 batting average. Has only 1 homer. They expect more power to come as he grows within the program. Bouncer to Alford, and just did get him. Out number 2, Kill, the first batter for the Aggies to put a ball in play against Quinn.
The first out to be made on a ball put in play as well. Quinn has looked sharp. The only out that Goldstein got was by way of the strikeout.
Dogs have Hunter behind the plate, Phelps at first, Black at second, Branch at short, Alford at third, McCarthy in left, Obie in center, and Burnett in right. Back around to the top of the order, and Laviolette. Walked on forced pitches his first time up, and that's ball 5. He has yet to see a strike. .66", 230 pounds. Let me take that back. 6'3", 230 pounds. I'm just short. He looks bigger to me.
He looks
as we start the final series of the regular season. SEC tournament next weekend in Hoover with a brand new format, single elimination. All 16 teams will go in that new single elimination format. Right now, if the tournament started today, the Bulldogs would be the number 5 seed and would be playing the winner of the Florida-Mississippi State game in Game 2 on Wednesday. Fouled back. But if you could get that number 4 seed, you would play on Thursday, and if you win that, you don't play again until Saturday. Today, the Bulldogs would be the number 5 seed and would be playing the winner of the Florida-Mississippi State game in Game 2 on Wednesday. Fouled back. But if you could get that number 4 seed, you would play on Thursday, and if you win that, you don't play again until Saturday.
Yeah, it's really interesting how this is going to work out. I like that all 16 teams are going. See what.
One and 9 in the SEC. Got no hit at Tennessee on a Friday night to drop to 1 and 9, and then came out the next day and run ruled the Volunteers, who were at the time ranked number 1 in the country.
Yeah, that's right.
Run ruled them in 2 games in a doubleheader.
Yeah. In both games of the doubleheader, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Obie, and until last weekend when they inexplicably got swept at home by Missouri, they had been 9-5 since that 1 and 9 start.
Yeah, they were going to pull off of Florida. I think they were on pace to kind of, get things going again. Florida was able to do it in 24 all the way to the College World Series. Kind of, you mentioned, finished their regular season SEC series here at Foley.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation.
Yeah. Snuck in the tournament, got hot. They were a good team to begin with.
Yep.
Same here, a lot of talent on this club, on this A&M club for sure.
Again, so many parallels to last year in that Florida series because this is a great Aggies team as well. Kent's throw, did it get him? Got him! On a 2-hopper over to first base from deep in the hole, throws out Obie for out number 2.
Yeah, I like the idea there from Kent using the turf, the 2-hop, so made it a little bit closer than it needed to be, but that's the first ground out the Bulldogs have had. It's either left the yard, have yet to strike out, or been a fly out on balls they've put in play to this point. So
there's Daniel Jackson. He's the DH tonight, batting in the 8th spot. Everything he's faced.
Again, look, a borderline pitch there going his way because he's pounding that strike zone. Really featuring 2 pitches, the fastball and the slider, but has mixed in that slower curveball as well.
Hensler at the plate for the second time. He walked his first time up. and strikes this one well to center field. Obi giving chase, and it gets over his shoulder and gets over the wall. Hensler goes deep to center field, and it's 4-2 Aggies.
Well, that's a good-looking swing from Hensler. Smooth, easy pop to dead center there. That breaking ball just hung up a little bit too much. A mistake there. Really the only one Quinn's made to this point. And you see just the nice, easy swing, staying through it, not too much. That was a line drive that just kept carrying. Thought Obi had a shot there, had a beat on it. You could see him just kind of come up short. Good piece of hitting there.
Home run number 12 and RBI number 33. It's Caden Sorrell, who deposited a 3-run homer into the right field bleachers his first time up. I'm not sure we're going to need any fielders tonight.
It does feel that way.
Just pitchers and guys to get the ball when they go over the wall, stand out there beyond the wall and throw the ball back in. It's all been home runs. All 6 runs in the game have come on long balls.
Yeah, haven't had a single yet. The only other hit was a double there by Kent. Good to see Quinn bounce back after that home run. 0-2, it was a mistake. I mean, left it up in the zone. I think Hensler did a great job. You tip your cap, and you get right back to work.
Michael Early, it looks like we're going to call out the trainer here. Michael Early came out of the dugout when Caden Sorrell kind of looked at him, and then Coach Early signaled for the trainer, Katie Swain.
Oh, man. He's shaking his head. I wonder if it's a hamate. Yeah.
And that arm around the shoulder looks like a consoling arm around the shoulder.
That's the last thing the Aggies need here. Just
Eric Gaucher's got his pad out. Looks like they're going to make the change. I'm anticipating they're going to make a change here. Yeah, he's coming out of the game.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it was that hamate.
Explain to folks what you're talking about there.
It's like a bone in your hand. It's kind of like a little hook there down by the pinky, almost like, I don't know if it's a 6th finger of sort. I don't know, but kind of hangs out there. I hadn't even heard of one until like 2010. I think Kyle Farmer on a swing, broke his hamate. And there was like 2 or 3 more that year for whatever reason around the league, but that's tough. But that's a tough injury. I think all they do to repair it is just take it out, a lot like an appendix of sorts. They just take it on out, but there's so much flesh and muscle you have to go through in the hand that it ends up being kind of a season ender. So hopefully he's going to be all right, but that did not look good.
So Yamal George is going to grab a bat and inherit an 0-2 count. Tough spot to him to step in here. Batting .246, no homers and 4 RBI in limited action. Making his 32nd game appearance. 15 for 61 on the year. Ball 1 to George. We'll effort to pass along any news on Sorrell if we get it. Just kind of been a snake-bitten season for him. Missed the first half of the year with a hamstring, and once he got back, he was playing extremely well. He'd been a real big boost to the A&M order. And George goes down swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a great at-bat there against Goldstein. I thought a great approach, just sitting breaking ball. Leaves the yard, puts him up by 3, and then second at-bat, just can't get through it. It's a shame.
Here's Bear Harrison. Struck out looking his first time up. He's reached base safely in 27 of the last 31 games. And make it 28. Base hit over the glove of Branch into left field.
First base hit of the game. First single, I should say. Single base hit.
Here's Caden Kent, their shortstop, who doubled his first time up. You may be familiar with his dad, Jeff. Great Major League Baseball player, 17 seasons in the bigs with the Giants and the Mets, primarily those teams, Dodgers as well, Astros, Blue Jays, Indians.
Great mustache.
Did you know that he was the 2000 National League MVP? 0-1 pitch to Kent and missed inside 1-1.
I did not know that.
5-time All-Star.
Yeah, I did know that.
Just roughly speaking, how many career hits do you think he had?
1,500?
2461.
Wow.
That's a lot of hits.
I know he was one of the kind of the first power hitting second baseman.
1-1 fouled back.
It's like him and Biggio were kind of those two real offensive second basemen. Kind of previously had been kind of a speedy position, more defensive.
His last year on the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot, got 45% of the vote. You got to get 75%.
Yeah.
Or is it 70? To stay on the, well, anyway, he's not on the ballot anymore. 1-2 pitch, ground ball. Count remains 1-2 to Caden Kent. All that said, Caden is a chip off the old block. Batted .327 last year as a sophomore. Hit a grand slam against Oregon in the NCAA College Station Super Regional, named to the All-College World Series team. Hit a homer and drove in 7 runs in Omaha. Hits this one sharply to second. Black on double play. Him with an 0-2 count. Strike to Hunter, and it's 0-2. I mean, Prager is a dude. I mean, consensus preseason first team All-American, first team All-SEC. MLB Pipeline had him rated as the number 70 overall prospect in this summer's draft. That makes you what, a second round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Hunter is thrown out on the ground out, 1 down.
Bulldogs, third baseman, number 44, Slate Alford.
Slade Alford steps to the plate, flew out to right his first time up. Bounces this one foul past Brock Bennett, the third base coach. So Phelps behind in the count, 0-2. Aggies are 7-6 in Prager's starts this season. Phelps fouls that one back.
What a late swing there from Phelps. Looked like a breaking ball up in the zone. Might have been called strike high in the zone, so he saw it break late. Was able just to get a piece of it to stay alive. Good two-strike approach there from Phelps after being out in front on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat.
Here's the 0-2 to Phelps. Fouled back again. Aggies 27-23 on the season. They are 10-17 in the SEC. 6-10 on the road. 4-8 on the road in the SEC. And the RPI is 59. So they've got a lot of work to do here this weekend and then next week in the SEC tournament in order to get back to the national tournament.
Another good at bat here. Making Prager really have to work. Getting that pitch count up as well. You know, just only surrendered 2 runs here in the 3rd inning, already up to 51 pitches through 2 1/3.
Prager looks over at second, and the 0-2 pitch to Phelps. Fouled back again. Prager's season high pitch count was 104. And that was against Alabama in his first SEC start, so way back to mid-March. He's already halfway there. Back up the middle, base hit. Alford stops at second, first and second for Georgia as they've got the tying run at first.
What an at-bat there from Trey Phelps. You mentioned him heating up. I think right there goes to show how locked in he is. 6 pitches in that at-bat. He swung at all 6 pitches. Spoiled a couple of really good ones after falling behind 0-2 and then gets the mistake. And you mentioned 104 pitches, but condensing them into this short a period of time takes that tax and that fatigue. They start leaving balls up in the zone, or more apt to leave balls up in the zone and pass it on to a guy like Burnett. So Georgia really working as a team offensively right now.
Burnett clubbed his 20th home run of the season in his first plate appearance of the day. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play. What a season Burnett has put together. Second in the SEC in homers, 3rd in RBI, number 5 in runs scored, number 1 in total bases, number 4 in slugging percentage, number 4 in on-base percentage. And prior to this season, he was playing in the Big South Conference.
Exciting player. You mentioned the stolen bases too. I mean, he gets on the base paths and he can wreak some havoc as well.
1-1 pitch, missed inside. 2-1 hitter count here for Robbie Burnett. Alford at second and Phelps at first. Consecutive singles after 1 out for Georgia here in the bottom of the 3rd as they trail 4-2. Tap foul over the Aggie dugout.
He ventured out of the zone a little bit on that one. A little too aggressive. 2-1 was the count that he left the yard on in his first at bat. Maybe expanded a little bit there and gave Prager got him off the hook a little bit. 3-1's a lot better than 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, hit out of play. Count remains 2-2. just the 25th all-time median between the Dogs and the Aggies. A&M on top 15-8 in the overall series, dating back to 2013 when Texas A&M joined the SEC. Fouled off.
And much like Phelps, Burnett just spoiling some pitches. They're just got a piece of that to stay alive. Prager really having to work for everything he gets.
The topic of Robbie Burnett came up in a conversation I was having earlier today, and I was asked, well, how did Burnett slip through the cracks and end up playing in the Big South at UNC Asheville his first 2 seasons? 2-2 pitch from Prager. Smashed into right field, off the wall. Alford scores. Here comes Phelps. They're going to hold him, and Burnett has an RBI double. Second RBI of the game for Robbie Burnett. It's 4-3.
Yeah, gets one center cut again. Just missed his spot a little bit up in the zone was Prager after fouling off some tough pitches. He waits him out, gets something good to hit. Line drive there off the wall. That one might have been hit better than the home run he hit in his first at bat. The Dogs got something going here with the tying run at third, less than 2 outs. Go ahead run at second.
Well, here's how he slipped through the cracks to finish the story as Colby Brandt steps up to the plate. Well, they're going to have a visit here from the pitching coach as Prager in danger of surrendering the lead here. When he was in high school, Robbie Burnett, at Franklinton, North Carolina High School, he suffered an ACL injury his sophomore year. And so his junior year comes around, and that was the COVID year. So during those crucial sophomore and junior seasons when primarily that's when your college recruiting takes place.
Sure.
Typically, it's done by the time you get to your senior year.
Which is wild, yeah. With all the travel ball circuit they have now, yeah.
So nobody really saw him play.
Yeah.
Because of the knee injury and then because of COVID. So that's how he slips through the cracks. He had one offer coming out of high school, and that was UNC Asheville. He was 2-time All-Big South in that conference, and now he's with Georgia with 20 home runs and 65 RBI on the season. One of the best hitters in the conference of the SEC.
Yeah, interesting what they're going to do here. That base open. You got McCarthy on deck. Of course, he homered in his first at bat.
Branch sends this one down the line. We're tied. Phelps scores. Burnett comes in. Georgia has the lead. 2-run double for Colby Branch, and Georgia has erased that early 3-0 deficit and leads 5-4.
No, it didn't take long to find out how they were going to pitch Colby Branch. Great job there by Colby. Staying aggressive. You get runners in scoring position. You want to hit early in the count, especially with less than 2. When it doesn't take a hit to score somebody, it looks like a hanging changeup, maybe a hanging breaking ball, something off speed up in the zone, and rips it down the left field line for a double. Gets both guys.
You mentioned just a moment ago, homered his first time up. Ball 1 to McCarthy.
Now there's going to a little bit of action stirring down in that bullpen. As it's second time through, it seems like the Dogs have a really good approach, and Prager just doesn't have the stuff to put them away. Got Phelps and Burnett to 2 strikes. Just couldn't finish the at-bat against them. I think that's the sign to get somebody going in that bullpen for the A&M Aggies.
How much do you think the fact that the Bulldogs have been able to get his pitch count up has played into what's happened here?
I think their plate discipline has been fantastic. Mentioned earlier in the game some of their offensive struggles as that ball's lifted out into right. Colby Branch is going to tag up.
George makes the catch near the track, and Branch will reach third sliding. And now he's 90 feet away with 2 out in the inning.
But we mentioned some of them getting back to their offensive roots, I think, over this stretch of time where they haven't been quite as threatening. A lot of swing and miss, but I think a lot of swing and miss at pitches that maybe are questionable, getting themselves into tough counts early on. Here, much better two-strike approach. They've been fouling a lot of pitches off. Just the one strikeout here. And lefties have been a little bit of their Achilles heel offensively. They've struggled against lefties throughout this season, so putting it together here late against a quality left-handed arm in Prager.
Black goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play. So now
out there, I mean, one mistake so far, left the yard, slider up in the zone, got to tip your cap. But he's looked pretty sharp. They got a whole lot of depth in that bullpen, and you know you got Curley going tomorrow. He's been pretty consistent in pitching deep into ball games.
Yep.
I don't think you hold anything back, but I do think you let Quinn ride until he starts losing it a little bit.
0-2 pitch to Black. Slap to left field. Base hit. Brandt scores, and it's 6-4.
Again, just a good approach on top the other way. Another good piece of hitting there with 2 strikes down in the count. Something up in the zone, gets on top of it. And that's a big 2-out knock there, 2-out RBI.
A 4-run bottom of the third, and that's going to be it for Prager. He's done. Gavin Lyons appears to be the next guy up for the Aggies. Ground ball, what's a ground ball?
Hadn't been a whole lot.
Been a lot of lift on the bats tonight for both teams.
Both teams, yeah.
Devin Obie at the plate. First pitch to him was a ball, 1-0. Outside 2-0. Metrically, the numbers for Lions are good. Now, granted, a lot of these numbers have been in non-conference play, but he's number 1 on the team at giving up 5.9 hits per 9 innings. He's number 1, 1.7 walks per 9 innings. Only 4 total walks. But walks haven't been an issue for the Aggies. They're number 2 in the country, less than 3 walks per 9 innings. Prager started getting hit hard here in this bottom of the third, and he's out. 4 runs across for Georgia.
Yeah, I think the big thing was just his inability to put guys away. Just didn't have that final strike. They were able to fight it off. Nothing to beat the Bulldogs. Ultimately led to his early exit.
3 balls and a strike. Walk to Obie. Isn't that always the way we talk about he's only given up 4 walks, and the first batter he faces, he walks Obie, so first and second now for Georgia. And Daniel Jackson becomes the 9th Bulldog to bat in the inning.
Coming to the plate for the Dogs, your designated hitter, number 25, Daniel Jackson.
Not a bad crowd here. I think it's probably listed as officially a sellout. There's a few empty seats. Remember, the students are gone. They're not on campus anymore. You can tell that as soon as you drive into town. And you can drive around town without stopping at every traffic light for 15 minutes.
Oh, you're used to it being in Atlanta.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Getting out of Atlanta traffic's like Escape from Alcatraz. 0-1 pitch, popped up out of play. And the problem with Atlanta traffic is it's like an octopus. Its tentacles just keep on stretching. Atlanta traffic now stretches to Athens. You never get out of it.
Never get out of it.
I mean, it just keeps going and going, creeping up I-85. Probably be in Jefferson before you know it. South halfway to Florida. My gosh. One ball, two strikes to Jackson. Fouled out of play. Tonight's game is a microcosm of why Georgia so badly wants to be a top 8 national seed and play here at Foley Field.
No, there's no doubt. This team's kind of built for it. We mentioned last year Wes Johnson coming in. He had all the numbers of what it took to win, especially offensively, at Foley Field, and he built his team around it.
One ball, two strikes. Bounce foul. That's one of the beautiful things about baseball. Not that I'm going to wax poetically here, but you can't build your football team to fit the football field. It's all 100 yards.
That's right.
The basketball court's all the same. You saw Hoosiers,
Yeah.
and Gene Hackman showed them. The basket's 10 feet tall. It doesn't change. But in baseball, each park is different.
It
and
is.
you can build your team to fit your ballpark, pitching-wise and hitting-wise.
And they all play a little bit differently, too. Ball flies a little bit different.
Here's the 1-2. That ball is struck well to center field, and it is going to get out of here. Another home run for Georgia over the batter's eye. Daniel Jackson. A 7-run third inning for Georgia. They lead it 9-4.
And again, just another quality at bat with 2 strikes. Daniel Jackson spoiling some pitches. Gets the mistake, the hanger out over that fastball. Got a little underneath it, got flat. And boy, is he strong. Dead center field over the batter's eye goes Daniel Jackson. And now it makes it a little bit easier to let Quinn go.
Yeah.
Give him some breathing room.
Home run number 12, RBI 28, 29, and 30 for Daniel Jackson.